sights and sounds from the Independence celebration at the Black Star Square here in Accra.
Trooping is for them to relax their limbs after standing for so long and to get them ready for the march past. The officers in charge of the band are Sub-Lieutenant Theophilus Stanley Brock, Lieutenant Peter Amwa, Lieutenant Emmanuel Eric Yeboah, Flying Officer Nelson Oku, and ASP Mr. P.D. Sapo. The bandmasters are CP01 Quest Lab Daniel, WO2 Bafo Kofi, WO2 Mayeden John Michael, and Chief Inspector Felix Osei Maboa. The Armed Forces Chief Drum Major is CP01 Ayete James. Other drum majors are Staff Sergeant Abeka Edward and Sergeant Kwaji Janet for Army, BO1 Ewuntuma Dokas and AB1 Agbezudo Courage Tete for Navy, Sergeant Blankson Ebenezer and LAC Ejiri Jambia Rose for Air Force, and Corporal Vivian Agbenyanu and Lance Corporal Eunice Sewa Adasi for Ghana Police. Leading the mass band are the drum majors holding the mace. The mace is a symbol of authority on parade, and it is used by the senior drum major to lead and direct the band. The drum major always entertains the audience by throwing and catching the mace on the march, both in slow and quick time. It is now time for the march past, starting with the school children. I now hand over to my co-MC.
Schools! Schools! Sing! Schools will move to the right in threes. Right! 10.
Thank you, my co-MC, Squadron Leader Francisca Aholo. Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen.
Schools!
The school's contingent from
by the left.
this.
Quick march.
Are made up of 5 senior high schools, 7 sub-metro education directorates. The basic schools are drawn from the following sub-metros and schools: Ashedu Keteke, Ayawaso Central, Ablekuma South, Ayawaso East, Editrom Preparatory School, Ablekuma North, Okaikwe South. The senior high schools on parade this morning are Kaneshi Senior High Technical School, His Majesty Senior High, St. Margaret Mary Senior High Technical, Accra Technical Training Center, and the Sacred Heart Technical Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to state that the vision of the Ghana Education Service is to create an enabling environment in all educational institutions and directorates that would facilitate effective teaching and learning. The mission of the service is to ensure that all Ghanaian children of school-going age are provided with quality education through effective resource management. The Director General of the Ghana Education Service is Professor Kwesi Opoku Amankwa, with lawyer Anthony Boateng as the Acting Deputy Director General. They are supported by divisional directors, 10 regional directors, and district, municipal, metropolitan directors. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Education Service is one of the enviable agencies under the Ministry of Education, headed by Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh and supported by Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Edichum, Deputy Minister for General Education, Honorable Barbara Asha Ayisi, Deputy Minister in charge of Technical and Vocational Education Training, and the Honorable Professor Kojo Yanka, Minister of State in charge of Tertiary Education. These honorables, in collaboration with the Director General and his deputy, I must say, are the driving force of the free senior high school policy, which has come to ensure a fair and just society where there will be equal opportunities for all, irrespective of family circumstances, to increase access and to provide its citizenry with quality education. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the implementation of this policy culminated in Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh being adjudged as the best minister for 2017 by the Facts Investigative Services, which conducted a survey to assess the performance of ministers. We say Ayiko to you, Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh, for the good job you are doing for Mother Ghana. The first contingent from the Ghana Education Service are pupils from the Ashedu Keteke. They have a pupil enrollment of 10,200. Ms. Helena Anansi and Mr. Godwin Aikpa are the contingent leaders. Ivy Tay and Caroline Aite are the banner girls, and Mr. Frederick Dia is the circuit supervisor. The motto of the sub-metro is Anangme Anate, Anate Aname. This means that they do not enter into ventures that they have not fully prepared for and thus do not exert their energies into fruitless ventures. Closely following the Ashiedu Keteke sub-metro is the contingent from the Ayawaso Central sub-metro schools. It was established in 2010 and they have a student enrollment of 9,016. Ms. Rita Akotua and Mr. David Amevo are the contingent leaders. Saida Adiza Adam and Sarah Akum are the banner girls. And the motto of the sub-metro is Yebeye, we will do it, or we can do it. Madam Julie Honuga is the circuit supervisor. Currently approaching the days is the contingent from Ablekuma South Sub-Metro Schools being represented by Hijaz Islamic Basic School. The school was established in 1994 as a private school and absorbed in 2004 as a public school. It has a student population of 545. And Ibrahim Alasa Atha.
Hey, Master, come. It's Rata. Yes, remove the man. That man. The man should come out. Come out.
Ladies and gentlemen, pushing the days now are representatives from Omanshi, Agogoshi, Antamato, and Makola Traders, Conference Union, Market Class. They are displaying their products were beautifully as a match pass, dressed beautifully in their category. another slow march by the Ghana Armed Forces. The parade second in command and the parade adjutant will change positions before the march past. I wish to remind you all JoyNews students that as the Ghana Party marches past, all are to rise and personnel in uniform are to pay the appropriate compliments.
forces of the Ghana Army, Navy, and the Air Force. They constitute the military or the Ghana Armed Forces. So the civil services will have to be identified by their names, be it Army, Navy, or Air Force. Approaching the contingent of, and directly behind them is the color party, which I spoke of much earlier in the day. And drills can be done at the slow or the quick time. Currently, personnel are doing the slow drill or the slow march. That's the female army contingent on the screen, under the command of Captain Edna Aku Dawai. That's the Navy female contingent under the command of Naval Lieutenant Juliana Asamoah. Her supernumeraries are Sub-Lieutenant Richardson Kali Anabatia and Sub-Lieutenant Agnes Arthur. The senior non-commissioned supernumerary is Petty Officer Class 2, Dinah Agbenyo. And by tradition, every contingent marching past would have to pay compliments on reaching where the president is. So just before reaching where the president is, you have to pay the appropriate compliment by looking to the direction of the president. And that is the Navy male contingent that just marched past. We have the Air Force female contingent marching past, and it's under the command of Flight Lieutenant Clara Odro Jemfi, with Flying Officer Felicia Asante and Flying Officer Precious Tay as her supernumeraries. We now have the color party also paying compliments. We have the Ghana commanded by the Lieutenant Ghana Navy Juliana Asamoah. The supernumeraries are Sub-Lieutenant Richard Kali Anabatia and Sub-Lieutenant Agnes Arthur. Senior NCO supernumerary is Eagle Dinah Agbenyo. The female contingent paying compliment on the march. Commanded by Flight Lieutenant Emmanuel Mensah, with Flying Officer Benjamin Osekoto, Flying Officer Stephen Adai as the supernumerary. Senior NCO supernumerary is Sergeant Panico Ivan. We have the Air Force male contingent approaching and is under the command of Flight Lieutenant Emmanuel Mensah, with Flying Officer Benjamin Osekojo and Flying Officer Stephen Adai as his supernumeraries. Senior NCO supernumerary is Flying Sergeant Jenny Senegal. That's the female Air Force contingent.
As we continue to witness the march past by the Ghana Armed Forces and other security services, it is instructive to trace the history of Ghana with the Ghana Armed Forces in focus. And Selicam, I know that the Ghana Armed Forces was formed in 1957, right after Ghana Army. Ghana Armed Forces was established in 1957, right after independence, is it?
Right. It was established, formed in 1957, and of course the first Major General was Stephen Otu, appointed as the Ghana Armed Forces Chief of Defense Staff in September 1961. And from 1966, the Ghana Armed Forces was extensively involved in politics, mounting several coups. Kwame Nkrumah, a former president, first prime minister of the country, when he became independent, and he began to take actions with the armed forces, including the creation and expansion of the president's own guard regiment. Now, as a result, on February 24, 1966, a small number of army military personnel and senior police officials, led by Emmanuel Kotoka, commander of the 2nd Army Brigade at Kumasi, successfully launched Operation Cold Chop. That was the 1966 Ghanaian coup against the Nkrumah regime. That was the first coup. And the group formed the National Liberation Council. Now the second coup undertaken by the army took place in 1972 after the reinstated civilian government cut military privileges and started changing the leadership of the army combats as well. Now on October 9, 1975, the National Redemption Council was replaced by the Supreme Military Council, and council members were Colonel Achampong, who was promoted straight from Colonel to General. Now in July 1978, in a sudden move, Supreme Military Council resigned with Lieutenant Kufu. Was also motivated by Achampong's failure to political pressure. The Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces is the President of Ghana, and the Minister for Defense, Honorable Dominic Nitiwo, and the Chief of Defense Staff as well. The Ghana Armed Forces has had some external operations from the Congo ONUC, the First Liberian Civil War, Sierra Leone Civil War, the Iraq War, the Nepalese Civil War, and the Georgian-Caucasian conflicts. Now these are some that the Ghana Armed Forces has been involved in externally.
Commander Veronica Ahen, I mean, we've over the years also seen the equipment display by the Ghana Armed Forces, which I believe will be seen very shortly. But what's the significance of displaying some of the equipment to the public?
Okay, before I answer that, I just want to add that The Ghana Armed Forces is established by Chapter 17 of the 1992 Constitution, just an addition. And then the Army traces its history way behind during the colonial era, while the Navy and the Air Force were formed 1959.
All right.
Yes, the militaries are established for defense, deterrence, and show of force. And so the display of those equipments in the past was meant to let your neighbor know that you have equipment, and so you should not even attempt it. It was meant as a show of force. However, over time, this has become more of a ceremonial activity. It's just to tell us that we have an armed forces that is well equipped, that is prepared to defend Mother Ghana by any means possible. So it's just to let and in fact, we do not display everything. What we display is just a representation of what we actually have, just to let the public know that we are equipped for the job at hand.
A while ago we saw on the screens some officers of service. They are very much security services, and they are very well represented here at the Black Star Square as we celebrate 61 years of independence. And we are currently witnessing march past by the Ghana Security Services. President Buhari, President of Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, President of Ghana, First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo, right there a few moments ago, and the drone shots. Obviously, many of the patriots here enjoying the sounds from the mass band of the Ghana Armed Forces, made up of Navy, Army, and of course the Ghana Air Force and the police band, of course. Interesting, beautiful sounds and sights coming from the Black Star Square here.
And you also realize that the slow march was done by only the Ghana Armed Forces. I believe the aim is to reduce the time that is spent on the parade. However, the quick march will be done by the armed forces and all the other security services.
Commendation goes to the crew working behind to ensure beautiful pictures that are coming to you from the Black Star Square here on GBC channels, GTV, GTV Govern, and GBC 24. This is the 61st Independence Day Parade, and kudos to all the hardworking crew members from GBC who have made this possible.
And the Ghana Armed
led
Forces
by Johnny Aite, Ebenezer Mpabin, Titi Amepe, and the host of them, directed by Kofi Apia, Labaran Mohammed behind, Rashid, and all the other guys who have made this possible. Ablo, Abo, and all of you. I can't wait to see the equipment and the special forces. The last time, the first time they displayed was somewhere in 2012 when I saw the special forces come out. It was the first time many of us had actually seen them display at such a parade. Are we likely to see them today?
Per the program that I've seen so far, I'm not too sure that we'll see them, but they are in action. On the quiet, I guess.
Yeah, so we're still enjoying the sights and sounds from the Independence Day Parade at the Black Star Square. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, accepting the salute. He is the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces.
And it's good to note that the Ghana Armed Forces has certain alliances. In 2013, the Ghana Armed Forces agreed for closer military cooperation with the China People's Liberation Army. And in 2013 as well, the Ghana Armed Forces also agreed for closer military cooperation with the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and also in 2012 it agreed to closer military cooperation with the armed forces of the Russian Federation. And so Ghana Armed Forces, as it is structured, has its alliances as well.
Right.
I wish to add that the Ghana Armed Forces only help to project our government's vision and mission. So once our governments have that cordial relationship with the various governments you've mentioned, the militaries are automatically also encouraged to work together as a team. And so we have such relationship with a number of other countries not mentioned here. Yes, the Ghana police today, they have 4 contingents on parade. I must add, they have the highest number of contingents. And the number 1 contingent is under the command of ASP Kingsley Esrifi Asante and ASP Joseph Ali Bawa and ASP Justice Aite are the supernumerary. For number 1 female contingent of the police is commanded by ASP Mary A.C. Kumsin with ASP Joyce Adjoa Kwabena Asare. And the number 2 male contingent of the police is commanded by ASP Alori Gabriel and ASP Emmanuel Baba Asabila and ASP Bodo Kofi Roberts as the supernumerary. And the female's 2nd contingent is commanded by ASP Mary Mrekua Tando with ASP Selina Ameonu and ASP Ama Doeti Saki as supernumeraries. The Ghana prisons also has 2 contingents on parade, 1 female and the other males. The male contingent is under the command of DSP Emmanuel Nyatuame and ASP Bashiru and ASP Felix Odonko as supernumeraries. The female contingent is commanded by DSP Mabel Edibrika with DSP Zenabu Mame Isa Adoko and ASP Evelyn Famisa as supernumeraries. The fire service also provided 2 contingents. The male contingent is under the command of ADO2 Emmanuel Simpson. The supernumeraries are ADO2 Michael Tete and Thomas Emeraldson Atanga. The female contingent of the fire service is under the command of ADO2 Benedicta Osabu. Her supernumeraries are ADO2 Priscilla Ampong and ADO2 Francisca Ofosua Anan. Closely behind the Ghana National Fire Service is the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Their male contingent is being commanded by Assistant Revenue Officer Eugene Menka Asenso. His supernumeraries are Assistant Revenue Officer Augustine Pereira and Assistant Revenue Officer Edwin Nikwe Tete. Assistant Revenue Officer Patience Dawute is commanding the Customs Division of GRA female contingent. Her supernumeraries are Assistant Revenue Officer Comfort Omare and Assistant Revenue Officer Sekina Adam. Immigration's male contingent is under the command of DSI Divine Mensa with the